Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Mike Reed here, and welcome back to another toy review by yours truly. And today we have a bit of a quick one for you guys. So today we are taking a look at one of the final Hasbro exclusives that I've been meaning to get in the collection for quite some time. This here, of course, is Savage Bear. Yes. So this is, like I said, another one of the Hasbro exclusive boosters, and the last one of the original Hasbro exclusives I needed to get in the collection. Sure, I technically already had this guy with BearScratch, but of course, you know me. If you want to follow my videos for a while, I had to get the original release. And, well, here it is. So, taking a quick look at the booster box for this guy. Of course, we get the Beyblade X logo up there, as per usual. And in the middle here, we get this beautiful CG render of Savage Bear looking very, very menacing, sort of snarling at you with its sharp claws. Really nice looking. Then, of course, right here, we get a nice little teaser of the blade. Then we got the Savage Bear 360S text there. And it is, of course, a defense type. Very important. Of course, got the defense type logo next to that. And at the top, of course, it includes the fully assembled bay as shown, Takara Tomy, and we get a Hasbro logo down there as well. So, pretty darn solid for this particular box. So, well, I'll spin around to the side real quick. And as you guys can see, we get another Hasbro mobile app promo. Very much par for the course for Hasbro at this point. And on the back, we do get the Savage Bear 360S text up there, defense type, right spin, and we get all of its parts beautifully displayed right here. Of course, it's only compatible with the Beyblade X system, and of course, performance may vary. Yes, very much so. So, with that, let's go ahead and crack this guy open, and let's see how cool he actually is. Actually, before I crack this guy open, I will mention that part of the reason why this was so difficult for me to get, and it is mostly just because pricing. I don't know why, but this booster has been eluding me just for the price alone. They've been asking, at least for certain places, way too much for this particular release. And thankfully, I was able to find a way to get one for cheap. And, well, that's how I got it here. Okay, now to actually crack open this box. Alright guys, so now with the bay fully unboxed, let's go ahead now and dive right into the part by part. And we'll start off, of course, with our blade, which is Savage Bear or BearScratch. Now, for those who've already seen my original review on this guy from the Double Extreme Battle Set Stadium for Takara Tomy, you'll know that this is the original release of BearScratch, or Savage Bear. And it is pretty interesting here with this yellow, sort of dark blue with the light blue. Of course, we get a nice splash of brown for the actual bear himself, which looks pretty darn awesome on the gear chip there, with its sort of snarling fangs and its sharp claws scratching down. Looks pretty awesome. And of course, for those who also may remember, this one is yet again another retool. In this case, it's a retool of Rhino Horn. Not exactly the greatest choice in the world, but for the time, I think it suffices, turning a rhino into a bear. It is kind of clever, I suppose. Of course, you do get the clear coat for the metal here as well, which I love the metal detail with the sort of bear claws with the bear heads themselves. Really nicely detailed there. So, pretty darn nice. And of course, for a quick comparison, let's grab it next, or put it next to the original, or I guess the recolored version here with BearScratch from the Double Extreme Stadium. So you guys can see how both of these blades look together. All in all, pretty solid blades for both of them. Right there. And of course, unlike the Takara one, you do actually get a QR code on the back here, so that way you guys can scan BearScratch or Savage Bear into your Beyblade X mobile app. All in all, really nice looking bay. Love his design a lot. Very, very good. Even if it's questionable in terms of why they picked the original mold to retool into this, But that's a whole debate for another day. Next up, of course, we get the Ratchet here, which is 360. Now, 360 is an interesting choice, as we've seen this plenty of times on attack combos. We've even seen it on a couple defense, even balance type combos. But it is nice to see it being used here again in this nice red and orange. Not sure about the red, but the orange I'm definitely here for with Savage Bear, so that's a win, color-wise. I guess 360 is not bad height-wise either. Better than 380 on the original mold. And last but not least, here we get our bit, which of course is S or Spike. So Spike, pretty darn nice. Of course, we've seen this plenty of times, but we get it here again in yellow this time. So, pretty darn nice, even if it isn't exactly the best for defense. I would say it's actually better for stamina, if that. But assembling our lovely bear here. Very nice clicks. There you have Savage Bear or BearScratch 360 Spike. All in all, pretty nice looking combo. Very, very defensive looking, as you would expect. And just for fun, let's do a quick comparison next to the Japanese, or the Karatomi, I guess you could say recolor slash rename here with BearScratch. So you guys can see how these two look together. All in all, pretty solid releases, these two. Even if it is pretty obvious that, yeah, one is definitely more of a pack-in, whilst the other one is a little more, I guess you could say, thought out by comparison. So, and of course, here we have it again next to Rhino Horn, just so you guys can see how these two look together. Just real quick. Also, I do want to note as well, I can actually get my turntable to cooperate with me. There we go. Also, why is it? Okay. What is my turntable doing? Okay, hold on here. Okay, there we go. I don't know why I was doing that. But anyhow, so now you guys can see how these two look together. And as you can see, they are very, very similar. I mean, you have, like, barely any differences, aside from, of course, the coloring, obviously the motif, but just very similar combos. Only, like, what, a millimeter or two off? Not even? It's just very, very interesting. But with that said, let's go ahead and see how this guy performs in battle. So, I'll see you guys in just a bit. Alright guys, and we are back. And of course we got our lovely BX10 here. And of course we have our very nice BearScratch right here. So let's go ahead and grab my winder launcher, which in this case, just for fun, we'll switch it up and we'll grab a different colored one here, just because. And let's just see how good he performs in the stadium on his own. Here we go. Well, he performs about how you would expect. Very passive, not very aggressive at all. So, pretty nice right there. But let's see if his defenses are up to the task here. I think we're going to ease our way into this, and we're going to start off with a very nice Purple Wizard. So let's see what he can do against BearScratch. Or Savage Bear. Well, that ended rather abruptly. Also, there is a massive hair in the stadium here. Get that out of there. Alright, let's try this again. Alright, come on, Savage Bear. You got this. Maybe. Okay, interesting movement. Ooh, good attack. And, well, an easy win there for BearScratch. Or Savage Bear. One more time. very nice burst for BearScratch. So, you know what? Maybe he's not as bad as I thought. Maybe he's not as bad as I thought. Alright, let's see who else you can put him against here. Let's grab Knight Lance, because I haven't used you in a while. See what you can do against BearScratch. Okay, pretty good attack so far. Oh, strong hit by Knight Lance. And dang it. Alright. Let's go again. Okay, well he's doing a bit better here. Okay. Wow, okay. One more go. At least he's getting good hits. At least a few times he does. Okay, of course he's on an angle now. Oh boy. Oh, he's gonna scream. Oh, it's over. Gosh dang it. Alright. I think for our last test here, let's see. Let's get something UX. You know what? Ugh. Golem Rock. Let's see what he can do against Savage Bear. Or BearScratch, whichever flavor you prefer. Alright, BearScratch, come on. I mean, this is defense against defense. You should be good at this. Even though I realize Golem Rock is a really good defense, even for UX. Okay. Not a great start. Let's go again. Okay. That went better. A lot better, actually. Alright. Last Chance Saloon. Let's see who's gonna win this one here soon. Wow, okay. Dang. Good on you, Savage Bear. You actually cooked. I'll give it to you. Even if my stadium is really cruddy. Oh, I'm actually going to do a quick jump cut here, because how did it get this bad? Gosh dang it. Anyways, now that my stadium doesn't look like a cat sat in it for like a day, that's going to wrap it up for this review on Savage Bear. All in all, he's not the worst Bay ever, but certainly not the best either. So I'll just kind of go over the pros and cons with him. I mean, if you don't already have Rhino Horn, this isn't the worst way to get him, because, I mean, you are getting him in a bear flavor. Plus, as you can see, his performance is about as good, if not on the same level as Rhino Horn. So it is a little bit better, a little bit worse, kind of in between. Not to mention, 360 and Spike aren't too bad. I mean, it's better than 380, so I'll take that, even if the colors are a little questionable. But all in all, this release is, as many would like to call, mid. But, I mean, if this is all you can get, especially if you want to get this guy in particular, this isn't the worst way to get him. But if you do want to pay the extra coin and get a stadium while you're at it, then of course I obviously recommend the orange version or just the BearScratch release of this guy. So, but either way, they're just okay. Both of them. So, with that guys, if you guys did enjoy this review, then please make sure to drop a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and ring that notification bell so that way you guys get notified for all my uploads. Later, Read Squad, and have a good one.